coming up on ATV News.
You may want to burn your bills. How that almost happened at the Logan post office.
We'll show you the new tactic cops and EMTs are using that could save your life, even if you're shot.
Would you eat this? A group is trying to change your mind about throwing food like this away.
It might feel like it's summer now, but I'll tell you how that's going to change tonight in weather.
You saw the joy on the football field on Saturday night. I'll tell you the personal struggles they overcame as a team in sports.
All that and more, this is ATV News. Welcome to ATV News. I'm Zachary Aido.
And I'm Paige Zamora. Students placed 2,996 American flags on Utah State's campus in memory of 9/11 victims. The Young Americans for Freedom organization invited students to place flags on the quad to give them a chance to remember the loss, but also the unity of the country.
9/11, and it's a time that we can kind of come together as Americans and just kind of like put our differences aside.
Students put flags up at sunrise and took them down at sunset.
A smoky evening brought firefighters to the post office late Wednesday night. Firefighters responded to a call that one of the mail trucks was on fire. They were able to put the fire out, but it did leave the truck with extensive damage. According to the fire marshal, the fire was started by a mechanical malfunction. No other damages were caused by the fire. You hate to think about it, but if you were to get shot in an active shooter situation, you could bleed to death before police secure the area for medics. But now, police are trying a new tactic that could get you help sooner.
Move. Okay. Open.
Cops with rubber guns clear empty dorms while they escort EMTs, who are also wearing body armor.
It's different for us, you know, this is a whole new tactic that we're trying to go by, is take care of victims and be able to triage them real quickly and get them out.
Now, they look like the cops that they are working with.
Pretty nice to be able to be part of their side and actually working more together than we normally do.
It's a new tactic they are still working on as a team.
But maybe there's a solution we can look at.
It's a new concept, so we don't expect them to get it right off the bat.
While EMTs treat the wounded, the cops look out, keeping the medics safe. It takes practice.
I want to work out these bugs in case something does happen, that we know what each other's doing, what our responsibilities are, and the overall goal is to save lives.
During the Columbine High School shooting of 1999, students had to run or hide under desks like this, which left them vulnerable, especially before medics were cleared to enter the building. Since then, cops have been learning from the past and been updating their techniques.
We learn things that they did well, things that they struggled with. We can make sure that those stumbling blocks are successes for us.
Cops say the training was a success and hope to do a larger scale drill in the future. Officers encourage USU students to sign up for Code Blue notifications so they will be prepared for emergencies.
Republican Congressman Rob Bishop spoke at Utah State on Monday with a strong message about public lands. During his 15 years as a congressman, Bishop has been a persistent voice in public land issues. On Monday, he didn't stray from that theme.
I would actually personally like to see is taking these lands and starting to designate them not for multiple use, but also designate them for what is the primary use.
By changing the designation of a land to primary use, the area could only be used for one thing, like recreation or grazing, instead of a combination of activities. When we come back, we'll show you which USU student is getting closer to hitting the bullseye on the world stage.
There is only one in Utah. Find out what a Cass School District bus has that no one else
I took
does.
the pledge because we are not our stereotype.
I took the pledge to make this campus safer.
I took the pledge because it's on us.
I took the pledge because love shouldn't hurt.
I took the pledge because this is a conversation that must be had.
13% of college women reported they were forced to have sex by a dating partner.
On average, 24 people per minute are victims of rape, physical violence or stalking by an intimate partner.
1 in 3 women in Utah experience intimate partner violence.
Since 2000, more than 40% of adult homicides were domestic violence related.
Join us. Take the pledge.
Welcome back. From snail mail to email, soon-to-be missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints will begin receiving mission calls via a mobile device. Before this announcement, members of the LDS Church had to wait for their call in a familiar white envelope that arrived in the mail. In a statement, the church says by the end of 2018, it is anticipated that nearly all missionaries around the world with reliable internet access will receive their calls online.
When a spinal infection left a USU student paralyzed from the waist down at 4 months old, he didn't let that slow him down. ATV's Bronson Tykert shows us how one archer is moving forward, one arrow at a time.
I am shooting every day, 6 days a week, about 2 hours minimum. I try and get at least 90 arrows in a day.
All this practice is to earn a world ranking.
My arrow sits on this blade rest.
As the competition becomes more intense, so does the equipment.
This is a compound bow made by Prime. The model is the Synergy Air. I am pulling 47 pounds.
The micro-adjust sight moves up and down for distance and side to side for wind.
I shoot a long stabilizer. I shoot this because it allows the weight to get out further, which allows me to be more steady, and it kills the vibration.
The thumb-activated release isn't actually released by Jack's thumb. Instead, he uses his back muscles to fire the arrow to maintain consistency.
That was a good one.
What started out as a weekly date with Jack and his wife Kayla is now a competition on the world stage.
It was a great thing. It was a weekly date I didn't have to set up.
Bronson Tykert, ATV News.
Jack's goal is to make the United States 2019 archery team, which is a requirement to try out for the Paralympic Games.
Thanks to the Neighborhood Housing Solutions program, Utah families are building their own neighborhoods. Their newest one is here in Cache Valley. These houses were designed and built by these people, none of whom had construction experience. They spent more than 1,000 hours learning and working on their houses. Each home is personalized, from the size of the rooms to the color of the counters.
It was a big sacrifice, but definitely worth it in the end, and we have a home that fits our family and that we can grow into, and we're really happy with the way that the whole process has worked out.
The program has not announced where yet, but members say they plan on helping families build more homes in the area.
According to the USDA, up to 40% of the food in the United States is never eaten. Wasatch Co-op Market in Salt Lake City is teaching people about food waste in a weird and wacky way. ATV's Christy Ocken has the story.
I have never seen one that big, and I wonder if it tastes good.
Wasatch Co-op Market held a contest showcasing weird, wacky, and misshapen food to show and tell people that you can still eat it.
Our contest is an awareness campaign to educate the general public about food waste in the U.S. as well as around the world.
Americans throw away about 6 billion fruits and vegetables annually, and our grocery stores won't accept produce that is misshapen or ugly.
And the idea is to get the public more accustomed to it.
The weird and wacky shapen fruits and vegetables are submitted by local farmers, and they too share in the co-op's mission to reduce food waste.
Well, we entered an eggplant with like a nose, so it's kind of like Pinocchio. I kind of wish we entered this, but we didn't. This is just a perfectly good cucumber.
People may think the shape changes the taste.
So 6 for the tomatoes. Some produce, the way it looks does affect the way that it tastes, but most stuff doesn't.
And this keeps farmers and grocers from selling it.
I think it's really good to spread awareness about
food that's edible. Cosmetics aren't everything.
People stopped by to vote, learn about food waste, and took with them some ideas on how to reduce it.
Like, I haven't seen a lot of this.
Compost.
Yeah, we have, well, where I live, we have chickens.
Christy Akin, ATV News.
Online, Wasatch Co-op has tips on composting, meal planning, and repurposing leftovers.
More than half of students ride the bus every day, and Cache School District is the first in Utah to upgrade safety on school buses. ATV's Ayana Likens takes us inside the bus to give us a closer look at what the safety features have to offer.
Cache School District says they put bus safety as their #1 priority.
The greatest danger would be the loading and unloading of the students.
So to increase safety on buses like these, they added 2 new safety features. The first is surrounding cameras.
There's cameras on the whole outside of the bus. When I turn on my blinker, you know, it comes on and I can see the whole side of the bus if there's any obstacles or people.
Second is a crash avoidance system.
If I get too close to a car, my seat vibrates. And then if I'm going over into a lane, kind of just drifting into a lane, it'll also vibrate.
Students say they appreciate the new features.
I feel a lot safer when they ride the bus.
Cache School District is the first to have safety features like these, but the popularity is growing. Washington School District just bought one, and Iron County has one in the works. The school district believes that soon these features will be on every bus in Utah. Ayana Likens, ATV News.
Cache School District says this December they'll place an order for 10 more buses with the same safety features.
It's nice to know that our kids will be riding in safer buses now, right?
Oh, I agree. I think it's fantastic.
Coming up, ATV's Archery Engel will have your Cache Valley weather report.
The current temperature is 81 degrees.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing you. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're going to need to start pushing yourself.
See, once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them.
You can't change your past, but you can definitely change your future.
That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. You need something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Terry!
Take it from me, the King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back. Archery Engel now joins us here in the studio for your full weather forecast. What's it looking like?
Some good weather is headed our way, that's for sure. I'll show you over by the weather screen. As you can see, we have some rain showers moving in on the east side of the country due to Hurricane Francis that's well on its way. But if you look over on our side of the country in Utah, we have some really great weather. Let's take a look at our state. A little closer look, as you can see, it's completely clear. We have a little bit of rain moving around up there, but that should stay out of our way, and we should have some pretty clear skies coming up this week. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast, shall we? On Wednesday, we have a high of 79 and a low of 44. That'll probably come around the evening. On Thursday, we have a high of 77 and again a low of 44 again. And on Friday, we have a high of 81 with a low of 47. We're really getting into the 40s this week. On Saturday, we have a high of 83 with a low of 47. And Sunday, a high of 81 with a low of 45. And on Monday, we have a high of 79 with a low of 44. And on Tuesday, we have a high of 80 with a low of 44. So it's going to be really cooling down during the evenings, but during the day, it should be some really nice weather to be outside and spend time with the family.
All right. I love hearing about that warm weather in the daytime. I'll take it for as long as I can have it.
I agree.
Always packing a jacket, right? Especially for that football game this Thursday. Corinne, what's going on in sports?
Yeah, Corinne.
All right. So we've got football, we've got track, and we've got tailgating when we come back.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
Students in biological engineering at Utah State University have the unique chance through the Synthetic Biomanufacturing Institute to engineer uses for spider silk. Projects developed in the lab include medical coatings, strong adhesives, and elastic woven fibers. These Aggies from Utah State are influencing and changing the face of biological engineering. Join them and leave your mark as well.
Welcome to ATV Sports. I'm Corinne LaRue. Logan, who is coming off a win against Ogden, is taking on Woods Cross. They also won last week, beating West High. Logan was all amped up, undefeated coming into the game first quarter. Johnny Parkinson throwing downfield, completed to Charlie Jensen. They would score a few plays later. Woods Cross sophomore quarterback Karsten Nagel to Jordan Johnson, who makes the one-handed catch that only a senior could make. He's looking for 6 points, and he gets in for the touchdown. Woods Cross with 7 points. Looking for 6, he fires in the end zone, and it is caught by Tim Van Leeuwen. Logan takes the lead and wins it. USU cross country is heading down south this Saturday to face BYU for their first fully competitive meet of the season. The Cougars men and women's teams are ranked 2nd and 17th in the nation, respectively. The Aggie women's team defeated the University of Utah during the Sagebrush Invitational at the beginning of the month, while the men's team used the meet as a preseason rust buster. Coming off the best season in program history, the team hopes to disprove doubters who say their success can't be repeated.
You know, the guys won't be as good because Dylan's gone and things like that. And so our guys and the ladies are using that as fuel to get back. And
Dylan Maggard led last year's men's team to its first ever NCAA Finals appearance, which the women also hope to get back to this season. USU Aggies started their season Saturday. Let's take a look at how some fans geared up for while tailgating. The start of the football season brings with it the start of tailgating season. Right outside Maverick Stadium on 800 East, anyone can join in on the fun.
It's the funnest part before a football game, where you just get too excited to have fun, enjoy the game, and enjoy like the community, just the people, and loving Aggie sports.
USU's tennis team had games like Connect 4 and Jenga. And as always, there is plenty of free stuff for college kids to take home. It's not every day you hear about a kicker carrying the team on his back in college football. Saturday's game against the New Mexico State Aggies was a big deal for this Utah State football team and an even bigger deal for the kicker. Dominic Eberle, kicker for Utah State, set Mountain West and school record Saturday night for the most points from his position and most 50-yard field goals. And Coach Wells says it was no surprise to see him do so well.
And he's a grinder. And that's a weird analogy for a kicker, but he's a grinder, man. And our players know it. And I think that's why you see pure excitement. Should have seen him in the locker room a minute ago. It's just pure excitement for that kid.
Eberle was a perfect 6 for 6 on the night, tying an NCAA record, and is the second kicker in NCAA history to score 24 points in a game. He was named Mountain West Special Teams Athlete of the Week. We take you to Merlin Olsen Field at Maverick Stadium, with Utah State looking for revenge after losing to New Mexico State last year at the Arizona Bowl. Utah State starting quarterback Jordan Love getting loose. Second quarter, Love completes the pass to Jordan Nathan over the middle. 3 plays later, Elector Ryan into the secondary. Touchdown Aggies. They go up 23-10. Fourth quarter, Darwin Thompson, who averaged 16 yards a carry, breaks a tackle, and he is off to the races. He takes this one to the house. Aggies are rolling. Matt Wells and Utah State win this one, 60-13. Although the Utah State Aggies won last week, Coach Wells wanted more from his offense.
I thought offensively we didn't get in a rhythm the entire game. It's just spotty, hit and miss.
The 60-13 win over New Mexico State may have had some positives, like on the defensive end, holding New Mexico State to 280 total yards. But Coach Wells is hoping to clean the offense up before they play Tennessee Tech on Thursday. With the win over NMSU after last bowl game and the record set by Eberle, you would think that this team was pretty focused on their game and nothing else. But what you may not have known is that this team was playing in the midst of tragedy. You spoke with some of the athletes after the game, Paige, and what you found was very powerful.
Yeah, Corinne. My conversation with the coach and with the team made me believe that this team is about more than just football. Before the game, a group of athletes gathered in prayer on behalf of their teammates and their families.
We Justice Tae and Jamarcus Ingram, attending funerals. Both of them had dads die during the last week. We've been banged up a little bit. That's why I'm really, really proud of these guys.
Aaron Wade and Gerald Bright dedicated this win to their 2 teammates and their families. They said they were impressed with Ingram's dedication to the team, even in the midst of tragedy.
Marcus was burying his dad, but still text us to tell us to ball out. Football's tough, life is tough, but I'm glad we got the dub for them.
Our condolences to the Tahi and Ingram families. Really hard to have that tragedy happen, but I'm sure they were really happy to get the win.
Coming up next, looking past our universe, find out what you're missing out on and how you can see it.
The bike race that made it start right here in Logan and why people come from all around the world to race it.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood, And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Thanks for staying with us. The Utah State University Observatory invited students and the public to look for planets and constellations in the night sky. Looking into a telescope, these students say they were able to see Mars and Saturn, as well as plenty of stars on Friday night. Some students and families say this was their first time coming to something like this, and they plan to come back next month to hopefully see Neptune.
So far it's been awesome. Saw Mars, gonna go see some other stars and planets.
With plenty of stargazers in attendance, coordinators say the event was moved from the observatory to the quad to accommodate the large group.
Aggie Radio wants to add another element to Logan's music scene by hosting a series of house shows. The first was on this wooded balcony just west of campus Friday night. Local artists, including rock group The Gatherers, showed off their skills and provided entertainment for a primarily moonlit crowd. The event's organizers cited the station's eclectic programming as inspiration for the show's format.
They're good at that. Like, you go on Aggie Radio, you turn on your car radio to 92.3 FM, it's always going to be something different. You won't hear the same song twice.
If you thought traffic was heavy this weekend, this might be why. Logan hosts a renowned bike race in front of Sunrise Cyclery. ATV's Cassandra Solarte has the story.
Bikers race off from the starting line Friday, kicking off the LOTOJA Classic.
It's more than a race. People ride their bikes just for LOTOJA. I didn't start it thinking, oh, 36 years from now this is going to be huge. Now it's on people's bucket list.
Only 7 cyclists rode in the LOTOJA Classic the first year. Now the race is so popular, registration spots are given out through a lottery.
This is what people look forward to. There's a reason it sells out, that there's a cap, that people flock here. I think this is the A race for everybody that's racing.
At 206 miles, LOTOJA is the longest single-day bicycle race in the United States. It is also considered the most challenging.
I want to push myself. You know, I've said from the beginning, if I'm not limping into the hotel, if I'm not hurting, you know, I did it wrong.
Many of the racers say the only goal they have is to cross the finish line.
That's all I'm out here to do is finish.
Cassandra Solarte, ATV News.
You can learn more about LOTOJA by visiting its website or by going to Sunrise Cyclery.
Wow, what a really unique thing Logan has to offer. I should have learned how to ride a bike when I was a little girl.
Oh, I'd be happy to teach you, Paige.
Providing comic relief with a literal twist, flexible comedian Jonathan Burns visited campus last Thursday. Students gathered in Dane's Concert Hall to watch the performance. Jonathan Burns is known for doing magic tricks and contortions, all while telling jokes.
I've been doing it a long time, full-time since 2004 though. That's when I graduated from college myself, and now I get to travel around the world and make people giggle.
The performance was a part of Utah State's second week of welcome to kick off the school year. Jonathan Burns will go on to perform at 2 more colleges while he is here in Utah.
Well, I think that's awesome. I mean, I wish I could contort in those ways.
Yeah, I mean, what a good way to start off the school year, right? Laughing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
You can catch all of our editions of ATV News on our Facebook page. We'll leave you with a shot from the Aggie Radio Show.
Have a great week, Aggies.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your